Hey guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Alon.
And welcome to another episode of The Next Man Up. Hey listeners, it's Mark. Welcome in once again to the Next Man Up podcast. Excited to have you with us. If you are just joining the show, welcome in. I know that each week we have a growing audience, which is just really exciting.
Very humbling.
I'm sure it's all because of my partner in crime, Alon Auguste, who's on the mic again with me today. It's got to be your presence.
I think it's both of us, buddy.
Well, I may control the technology behind the scenes, but you're really the wizard that makes it all happen.
You're too kind. You're too kind. I will refute that again. Oh man, good to be here, Mark. Good to hang out with you and have a good conversation again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And listeners, you should know that we are recording in a different place today. So if you hear some different background noises or sounds or whatever, our apologies. But it worked out to meet in a different spot, and so we're kind of kicking the tires on a new location today. And so far, so good.
So far, so good, dude. Speaking of new location, we're gonna be rocking and rolling somewhere here.
We
soon.
are.
Yeah.
We are excited to be down in Bradenton, Florida, the second weekend in November, the 8th and the 9th, Friday evening, Saturday morning. In fact, we could have some listeners that have recently joined our audience from that area. I think it's Manatee County. It's south of Tampa. And what a great time to be down there. Early November from Central Ohio down to Florida. No, there's way more good reasons to be there than just the weather. Although that is going to be a nice side benefit.
Honestly, man, I'm going to be really honest with you. It is a good one.
Yeah,
but not the only one.
It's not the only one.
Yeah.
But no, we are excited to hang with some fathers and some sons down there, talking about initiation, talking about identity, some of the challenges that men face, and how we can think about those challenges in a new and a different way. Maybe a fresh conversation about some big topics, sexuality and identity, and what does it mean to be a man today and help our boys to become men. So I could not be more excited about joining you, Bradenton. So if you're listening from Bradenton or the greater Bradenton area, we're excited to be down there here soon, and can't wait. Looking forward to meeting you guys in person and having some good conversations with you.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Yeah.
And sunshiny.
And just a quick reminder, if you want to engage with us, you might be thinking, how do I engage with you guys? Yeah. I've got a comment or a question or a suggestion. Maybe I've got a perfect guest for the show. Just shoot us an email at feedback@thenextmanup.com or message us on Facebook or Twitter @thenextmanup1 is our handle there. Love to hear from you, and appreciate any and all feedback. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you ready for this?
Oh, this is great.
The only answer is yes.
No. That's another one. No, of course, man. Come on, bring it. It's what we're here for.
I'm going to put you on the spot. So have you ever heard the or seen the talk shows or the sports shows or whatever where they're doing goofy true and false questions or different quizzes or things like that? So I got 6 questions.
Okay.
They're all true or false.
It means I have to use my brain. All right.
All related to various initiation rites.
Okay.
And I want to test your knowledge about global rites of passage and initiation rites. We'll see how well you do.
Well, my rule of thumb is normally the stranger, the more true it is.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because there are a few strange ones in there. All right. True or false? The Sepik River tribes in Papua New Guinea. Do you even know where Papua New Guinea is?
I know where Papua New Guinea is. I don't know that they have a tribe.
So the Sepik River tribes in Papua New Guinea initiate boys into manhood by scraping all the hair off their body. And when it grows back, the boys are considered men. True or false?
Oh, man, that sounds so weird. But I'm gonna go with true. Final answer.
Okay. You're wrong. You're 0 for 1.
Dang it.
It is false. They actually use a process of scarification across the body to produce a pattern that looks like the skin or the outer appearance of an alligator.
I don't even know where to go with that. I don't even know where to. Come on, hit me again.
All right. Number 2, true or false?
Okay.
In Ethiopia, tradition has it that if you can jump across the backs of 4 cows, that proves your manhood and readiness to be married.
Oh my gosh. I knew I should have paid attention to those Nat Geo magazines and shows. I'm going to go with false.
You are wrong again.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
This is true.
Really?
It is a manhood and a pre-marriage. It's like bachelor parties in this tribe.
So if I can jump from the 4 different backs of cows, I'm a man.
You kind of jump up on and kind of run across.
Oh, I can do that.
You know, it's like the American Ninja Warrior,
Yeah.
the first obstacle, only with live cows.
I can do that.
Okay. You're 0 for 2. You're not doing so well here.
All right, okay, come
All
on.
right, true or false?
True or
in
false?
Brazil, the Satare Mawe tribe uses bullet ants in their boys' rite of passage. Boys must twice go through a ritual of being bitten in their hands by the ants before they are considered men.
Wait, you talked about this one before.
Uh-huh.
True. Wait, no, it's not twice, so I'm going to go false.
You are correct. It is false. It is 20 times.
Oh, wow. That's right. They shoved their hands.
Yes.
And
Yes.
look, if I believed that endurance of pain was the true characteristic of being a man, then I would say those dudes down there got it. But
that is one of
crazy.
that might be the most painful rite of passage that I've read about.
I have one for you. I have one for you that I heard on Radiolab. But I'll tell you that later.
Okay. All right, so you're what? 1 for 3?
1 for 3. One
All
for
right,
3.
Question number 4, true or false? In the island country of Vanuatu, boys and men dive from towers as high as 90 feet with vines tied to their legs in order to prove their manhood.
True.
That one is true as well.
You talked about that
I
one
have
before.
talked about that one before.
I felt like you were my lifeline. I was reaching back
See, I
in
kind of
time.
tossed you a bone there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm 2 for what?
2 for 4.
4?
All right.
Jeez.
All right, true false. The Okiek tribe in Kenya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, seclude young boys and girls from the adults for several months, during which they are haunted by a mythical beast with a wild roar. They become adults when they can reproduce the roar from the instrument used to make the sound.
That one sounds too easy. I'm going to go with false.
It is true.
What?
It is true.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Man. I don't even know. Yep, that's another one. I don't know where to go with that one. Things we do.
All right, I'll give you a softball for the last one.
All right, okay.
In the U.S., boys become men when they can memorize the Declaration of Independence and recite it backwards.
Oh, that's completely false. Do you have the Calagan? I think it's the Calgren or Calagrin tribe in Ethiopia.
I don't have that one in my notes, but go ahead and describe it.
So you're talking about pain. Mm-hmm. So they don't circumcise their males when they're babies. They circumcise them when they're older.
Okay.
And the way it happens is with a sharp stick to poke a hole and then pull the
yes.
through the hole. And check this out. They put this is their initiation process. They put this powder this mud on your face and let it dry. And if it cracks at all from you wincing or like, you know, scrounging your face, trying to like get through the pain, you fail the initiation process. Mark, I don't care what's out there. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It has to be the number one painful thing to go through as far as initiation. I would take the bullet ants gladly, sorrowfully, but gladly over that.
It's in your hands.
Yeah, man. Like, was this too much for? Are we breaking a rating?
Well,
I feel that was PG-13.
It might have been. See, I read about a number of circumcision-related initiation rites, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to tuck those aside. But
you're welcome.
I did not read that one.
You're welcome.
So, folks, if you have any complaints about the content and the rating of this show, Alon's personal email address is.
Oh, sorry. I kept the PG though, and I didn't say things. So I didn't do good on that, did I?
Well, you got what, like 4 out of 6? You missed the first 2, and then you got the last 4 right.
All right, that's good.
Dude, there's some crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, there is, man.
And we've you and I have had this conversation before, offline and online. On the surface, it looks like just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how can we do the most weird, off the wall, painful thing and call it a rite of passage and subject our boys? And boy, there's a bunch of female rite of passage things too that are even
just as crazy or
just as
worse,
crazy. I avoided those. But sometimes it seems like from our affluent and educated and societally evolved perspective that these things are just, they're nuts.
Or so to say.
Or so we say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when you go a little bit deeper beyond the what and the how, because the how is like, let's just face it, it is a little bizarre from our standpoint. Now inside those cultures, it's normalized.
We're bizarre.
Right, exactly. and we're stupid because we don't do anything like that. But if you get past the what and the how, and you really get to the underlying why, that's when this stuff starts to make sense.
Yep, I agree. It's like go past all that to the true meaning of why they're doing it. Like, you can't argue with that.
Right.
You can't argue it. Look, I want my boy to know that he's a man.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to walk through these steps so that we all know that he's a man. Yeah, you can't argue with that. That's huge.
It's a huge event in that boy's life.
Mm-hmm.
And
it means something.
It does mean something. And it means something to everybody else, not just to the boy. It means something to everybody else because they no longer see that person as boy. They see that person as having crossed the threshold into manhood. And he's treated different.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's affirmed, he's encouraged, he's welcomed into the community of men, and he's expected to take his place and live up to the standards of manhood for that tribe or for that culture. Like it matters.
Yeah, it does, man. Absolutely.
And we've lost it in this country. That last question I thought about like just a run-on sentence of all of the different ways, right? And it's possible, who knows, maybe some dad or some small community, very patriotic community has actually done this, that I just made this up. But you could conceivably see somebody saying, this is your proof of manhood. Because in this country, we don't have anything that stands out as you've crossed the threshold, welcome to manhood.
And we do have, I mean, you know, the U.S. is a melting pot of different cultures. So we do have things that trek back to the different cultures that could be going on or might be going on. But as far as something that, you know, we say, look, this is what we're doing as a country to see our boy. We just don't got that. And I'm not sure if I would go along with something that the whole country
it's one size fits all.
But it's the idea of having, like, fathers, do you have an initiation process going on, or journey, I should say, for your boy? If you don't, wow, like, could it be that we're doing a disfavor to our sons?
Yeah.
By not
Yeah.
having a process that they go through.
Yeah. Now, we should state this very clearly. We're not advocating for body piercing or scarification
or bullet ants.
I'm
not doing it.
Or cow jumping or primitive bungee jumping. What we're advocating for is a more contemporary approach, but utilizing the tool of rite of passage to guide your son from boy to man. Mm-hmm. And so why? Like, what would be the why? I always like to ask the question, so what?
So what?
You know, so what is the so what here, or what is the bigger why? Like, if I think about it, there's three simple elements here, and the first is really to give the boy a sense for where he's going.
Mm-hmm. Gotta give him a North Star, man.
That's your terminology. You've used it a lot. I like it. Without that, they end up finding themselves somewhere, right?
Somewhere else.
They always find themselves somewhere. But chances are it's not going to be as good as it could be, best case. Yeah. And worst case, it's going to be someplace that could be extremely destructive to that person and those that are around them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, it's funny because, like, there is a sense that sometimes we look at our kids and go, I don't get how you could have ended up here. But you know, when I look back, it's like, oh no, actually we do know. We sent them out with blindfolds and told them to go somewhere. You know what I mean? And with our boys, it's the same. It's like if we're not giving them, like I said, a North Star, if we're not giving them a compass, if we're not, you can take the terminology anywhere you want to go with it, but if we're not guiding them on this path and keeping them on this path, like, can we really be upset when they don't end up where we wanted them to go?
Yeah.
We can't. We can't really fault them either. You know, it's the case of the children. Was it Children of the Corn or Children of the Flies? Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies, like, movement all over it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like fathers, we have to be the person that is, like, shining the being a lighthouse on the rocks, basically. And being a guide for them, or else we can't really say anything when they don't end up where we want them to go.
Yeah, and I know what you meant, but it probably bears some clarification or repeating in a different way. You're not saying that kids aren't responsible for their own choices and for their own actions. What you are saying, though, is we have an obligation as dads to help the boy know where that North Star is, where he's going, give him a destination to aim for. And then at some point, he makes his own choices, right? But if we haven't even given him a destination to aim for, then I shouldn't say shame on us.
But more of like, well, what you can't get on him, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get on him. Like, you know, and not just... Here's the thing, too. Like, I feel like, you know, I'm glad you brought up the responsibility deal, because honestly, as my son gets older, the more and more I go, okay, I've shown you the light. You know what I mean? I pointed to that star for the last how many years of your life. I'm not always going to be around to point you to that star, you know? And so, like, let's say I'm gone and you get lost. Like, at least you know that there's this point that you can look to and go, man, I'm not heading in the right direction. I can go that way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's call it legacy, call it whatever, but like I want him to know that dude, you can, no matter where you're at in life, point to this way and be a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Reach this place, you know? Or like as he gets older, I can go, son, like the reason why I'm smiling at you and I'm beaming with light over you is because you've reached this place where you become a man and you're beginning to walk this journey less of being as a boy and more of as a man, you know? And that's awesome. But I can't really like look at him weird if I haven't been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happens is like our kids get older sometimes and it's because I work with young people. I like right now I'm with middle schoolers, but I work with high schoolers, and more so when I've seen high schoolers as they've gotten to their senior years, and let's say like they're troublemakers, labeled as troublemakers. That's normally what they get labeled as. And you know, I'm talking with parents, and they're like, "Well, you know what? I just washed my hands of that kid." And I'm thinking, I've known you guys for about 4 or 5 years now, and talking with your son, it doesn't seem that you really have anything to wash your hands of. You never were really connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never hung with your boy. You never built with your boy. And so it's not about shaming the dad or shaming the son. It's the idea of like, can you fault him? And if you can't fault him, then how about like we start even right from where he's at and go, I'm going to help you be a man.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And I think the way that I would frame that is dads have a responsibility, and you can't hold your son responsible for doing something you never taught him to do, or for being somewhere that you never taught him to get to.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't expect him to just get there.
No.
And then be frustrated when he's not there, when you abdicated responsibility that belongs to you from the beginning as a dad. I think that's how I hear it, or how I would frame it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one, like showing them the destination, where they're going. The second one we were kind of getting at is helping them to know how to get there. You know, how do I, okay, Dad, there's the destination. You've pointed to it, but that's a long way away. How do I get there?
Yeah, yeah.
What are the skills that I need? What are the characteristics that I need to develop? What are the qualities that I want to foster in my life? Or from dad to son, here are the qualities that will serve you well in order to get there and to live there.
Yeah.
You know?
And beyond. Like,
yes.
Dude, I recently redid my office.
Okay.
At the school I'm at, and so I painted. I'm quite proud of my painting. I've never painted in my life before. I painted my office over, bookshelves, whatever. But I'd ordered some furniture, and one of the pieces of furniture was a Murphy desk, sort of like a Murphy bed, but it's a desk. I can fold it away and put it up. It looks like a little cabinet on the wall, and bring it down, because my office is really small, so I needed the space. So I break out this Murphy desk that, of course, has not come together. You have to put it together. I don't know what happened.
So it's made by some Swiss furniture maker.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, it's cheaper. I don't care. Like, I don't want to put this thing together. And then, so not only did I have to put it together, but I had to attach it to the wall. And so the directions that came with it, now, mind you, there was I'd say about 50 pieces to this little fold-out desk.
Of course.
Right? And there was maybe like a half sheet of instructions, and they were all pictures. And then when it came time to like actually mounting it to the wall, there was no instructions whatsoever. So our building is like old plaster. Okay. And I'm thinking through ahead. At least I had the smarts enough to go, okay, this means that I got to measure this out. Well, I don't know the measurements of this thing. oh, I got to measure how far it is from the ground. Well, they didn't tell me how. I don't even know what tools to use. So I'm in my office and I'm having this like breakdown moment, and I'm like going, I don't know how to do this. Like we leave our sons there. That's the picture I have with our sons.
Yeah.
When we don't tell them the how. Like we go, I want you to go there, but we don't say how to get there.
Yeah.
It's our son standing in the middle of this road, this journey, going, I don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And how frustrating and how like almost like nearly impossible it feels without instruction, without guidance.
It makes me think of this quality that we often associate with males, the resilience and the independence. And I think some fathers are inclined to be like, it doesn't matter, he'll figure it out. He'll get through this, it's a good test and he'll figure it out. I had to figure it out myself. And,
yeah, I did it.
Right. And I think, I would say, I want to affirm that independence and
Sure.
that resilience in as much as it's like taking initiative and taking responsibility for doing some things and taking action, blah, blah, blah. But just because you as a dad had to figure it out yourself doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it. In fact, there is a much better way, which is for you to walk side by side with your son and be that guide that not only models it for him, in the mess, in the brokenness, in the success, in the failures, but also says, here are the tools that you're going to need.
The right tools.
And here is a map or instructions to how to use the tools and put the pieces and parts and materials together. Like
we have to Dora Explorer the thing for our boys.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a map. Step 1.
Yeah.
Number 2. Number 3. Like we got to do that for them, or they're just be out there wandering.
And it doesn't take away from their natural inclination to grow and produce and be productive and all that. It harnesses it and it channels it in the direction that you really want that boy to go, right? Yeah. Back to point 1. Where is he going?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then point 2 is how does he get there? What's the route? What's the destination? What are the tools? What are the supplies that are needed? We're talking in materialistic things, but really you and I know that it's about qualities and characteristics that are more so on the inside than it is the outside accomplishments. But that can be part of it too.
Yeah, man.
You can learn a lot about yourself on the inside by accomplishing some things on the outside, and then those become learning experiences.
Sure.
They're now tools in your belt or your toolbox that you know how to use.
Right. Or, honestly, I'm just thinking, you're showing them, like, this tool isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Right.
Like, you mean? Like,
right.
Like sharing our failures with our boys. And we talked about this a little while ago, but, like, that's what I mean. Like, showing them the right tools, let them know what the wrong tools are, too. That aren't going to get them anywhere. Like, give them a reason to put it down and go, I think I need to try this instead.
So that's the second point, helping them to get there. The third point is kind of like the GPS that I used to get to this location today. I came in a different way. My GPS told me I had arrived when I got here. I knew the destination. Yeah. The GPS provided me a route, but it also said, you have arrived.
They leave you guessing.
What a powerful moment as a father to be able to say to your son, you've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
You have arrived. This is like that culmination moment in the initiation process where you get to tell your boy that he's graduated into manhood. We do this in the military. You graduate out of boot camp.
Sure.
We do this in schools. You've graduated from one school or one grade or one whole section into another.
Yeah. We do it at our jobs.
We do it at our jobs.
You're no longer cleaning lettuce.
Right.
You're now going to fry the fries.
You've been promoted.
You've been promoted from, analyst to senior analyst. Like, yeah.
What if we gave our boys that promotion? We told them where they were going. We showed them how to get there.
Yeah.
And then we as GPS said you've arrived or you've been promoted.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge, man.
There's simple concepts. And we often look at the societies, the cultures that are still employing these rites of passage and think, oh, they're uneducated, they're third world, they are uninformed, right? But boy, they got us here on this one.
I agree, man.
They got us on this one because they have a process. Yep, it looks a little bizarre. Yep, extremely painful. Nope, we're not advocating the torture techniques that are often used. But if you get past the what and the how and you get to the underlying why, you realize, wow, we've missed it. This is a tool that should be in the toolbox of every father to be able to guide their sons. And by the way, this can apply to girls too. Mm-hmm. But to guide their sons into manhood is powerful, man. It's powerful. And if we can recapture this, we can raise up a whole new generation of men of character and men of faith, and we can make a difference.
So now the big question is, okay, what do I do then? And fathers like that are out there, this is what runs in my head. Whenever I hear something and I start clicking with it, I'm going, okay, what does that mean for me? We said it before. You may want to go back and I think it was like the third episode. Or
some of our early episodes,
early episodes. But check those out and see what we mean by okay, then what's the next step? Because there are some next steps for you, but not just steps, but look, conversations with other dads to see what they're doing. If you want to get some ideas, I'm that guy who likes to. Not just pull from one vein, but I want to hear from all sorts of different people before I make my decision on how I want to roll with something. I need information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so get all the information, start conversations, listen to some of our podcasts, talk with other dads and see what's out there. Because our boys are needing it. And if you got a spark in your heart after hearing this episode, dude, I'm for that. Or even if you're already doing it, keep going. But if you have a spark for it, then start thinking what can I do to help my boy initiate into a man?
Yeah. That's huge, man. I can tell you from firsthand experience that the time goes by fast.
It does.
And I started with my boys when they were 12, and we've chronicled the story of my oldest here, and it's over. Now I'm still involved and I still have influence, but he's not right. He's a man now, and we're treating him as such. Mm-hmm. And my middle son is quickly approaching his ceremony, and it's going to be a fantastic time. Yeah. And then it's over.
Yeah.
So it's never too late to start. Even if you feel like your kids are older, start with relationship building. If your kids are young, start early and begin to invest in them so that down the road you can see that return on that investment, because the time goes by so fast. And this is a tool that can make a huge difference in the lives of our boys as they become men.
Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
Huh. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome, dude. And you know what? Just a quick shameless plug here. This is part of what we offer as the Next Man Up, helping fathers to build these initiation rites of passage customized for you and for your son. It's not a one-size-fits-all. And we're not going to be diving them off towers with vines tied to their feet. Don't worry. Those are just fun stories. But if you want to connect with us on how how we might be able to help you in your community, or if you're looking for a place to plug in, then just let us know, and we can start that conversation.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, man. Another good conversation. It's always a pleasure to put eyeballs on you and to be in the same room and to sharpen each other in this way.
Yeah, man.
And
likewise.
Hopefully it's sharpening those that are listening as well.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, my friends. I appreciate it. And Mark, always good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
All right. With that.
Adios.
Adios. Hey, listeners, thanks for journeying with us on this Next Man Up podcast. You know, we would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a question or an idea, perhaps a topic for us to consider. If that's you and you want to reach out to us, you can get us at feedback@thenextmanup.com. That's feedback@thenextmanup.com. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you later.